The words I would use to describe Larry Lance are honorable, dedicated, and humble.
Great attribute about Larry is he's easygoing, people enjoy being around him. He's a very, very positive person, always sees, half full.
Relationships. Really, when you think of Larry, that's what it's about.
When I think of Larry, I think of a fun person. He's not impressed with himself. He doesn't mind laughing, having a good time. And that's important because we all get to a point in our careers, in our life, and you realize life is not forever, so you better enjoy it along the way. And Larry's somebody I would like to hang out with.
He's more than thoughtful. He's more than conscientious. He's more than kind. He's more than a powerhouse. He's more than brilliant. He's the total package. That's it. Larry's the total package.
I would say compassion, smart, hardworking are three of many, many words you could use to describe Larry.
He truly is a handshake kind of guy. It's as good as having a signed lease when you're dealing with Larry. Can't say that about a lot of people.
We started as friends and business associates back when I was at Galbraith, which was a large national development company based in Ohio. Mr. Galbraith died, and we were able to buy a very small piece of the business and center it in Colorado, renamed it to Eagle Ridge, and started here in Denver with one capital partner called Cargill. So we made the decision to move into what's called a registered investment advisor. As we had changed our name to Alliance, we had to form another new entity, and so that's where Everwest came in. I think today we're about 140 people with offices in New York and Charlotte, San Francisco, LA, Austin, and then headquartered here. We became Sagard Real Estate about almost 2 years ago now. Larry was, integral in every step along the way.
The first time I met Larry Lance was in Washington, D.C. at NAIOP's corporate chapter leadership and legislative retreat. And it was early on in my career with NAIOP, and I think Larry could tell I was lost because he came up, introduced himself, took me to his table, introduced me to everyone at the table, and I just remember thinking how kind and generous this man was with his time, and especially with someone that he didn't really know and he understood was really new.
As a young guy coming up, you're always looking for good leadership and mentorship, and Larry seemed to be fit the bill for a good example of somebody that young men would want to aspire to be like someday. And I think having that balance of not only talking about business, but understanding that people have lives outside of commercial real estate and understanding what people's interests are and all that, he does a very good job of engaging that way.
He's somebody that's really special to deal with. I've always liked and enjoyed dealing with him because what Larry does, not only does Larry go out of his way to protect his side of the equation, goes out of the way to protect his investors. But what he also does that's so unique, he really takes the time to try to understand what the other side is all about, what's important to the other side, and that's why he's such an effective deal maker.
From day one, he just included me, whether it was a call with a lender or $100 million transaction. I just was able to participate in that, So my first transactions with him were some large downtown Los Angeles office buildings that we were buying at the time. He just has a complete way of bringing people in with him.
He was always willing to give back. He was always providing mentorship to young, aspiring commercial real estate professionals. Very, very involved in all aspects of the community as well as the industry.
My first impression of Larry was just that he's a very warm, welcoming, friendly person. I think he may have even given me a hug the very first time we met. And he just felt like someone I was immediately comfortable with. I remember talking about a specific deal that I'm working on down in Phoenix with a joint venture partner, and was kind of describing what they do and their projects, and then eventually said the name of the person, and Larry said, "Oh yeah, I know that guy, I used to work with him, he's great." And of course then I went and met with our partner and told him that I was Larry's mentee, and he had all the best things to say about him. And so I think that was sort of proof to me that he knows everyone and anyone.
And I remember my first impression in talking with Larry was, wow, this guy is sharp as a tack. He clearly, because he was a trustee, he understood the importance of the whole involvement in the political world, both at a federal, state, and local level. I mean, he checked all the boxes for me that night, and I kept going, who is this guy? we have to move him up in the organization.
Larry Lance has been involved at every level of NAIOP, both at the chapter and at the corporate level as well. He's served on the board of directors, he's served on the public policy committee, he's helped us fundraise for the PAC and small donor committee. When I think about it, there just isn't anything that Larry hasn't done.
When I think about Larry and his real estate career, I mean, he's a great real estate guy. He's done it all. He's done acquisitions, dispositions, asset management, capital raising, really everything that there is to do in investment real estate. But I don't think that's what he will be remembered for. I think he will be remembered for his authenticity and his ability to build trust.
In our company, we instilled, I'm not even sure who started this tradition, but we have a gong in the office. And so any transaction, we ring the gong. And Larry gets the most joy out of that, out of anybody in the whole company. And I'll never forget, we first got a bigger gong. It started as like a bowl with a hammer. And then when we were acquired by Great West Life, we got like a real gong. So now we have a real gong in the office, and Larry was the first one to ring that gong.
He's been great as a client, wonderful as a friend, loyal, always available if you got a question or something, or a challenge or an opportunity. He's always available for fun. So he is just a great, great friend.
You know, so many times people ask somebody, oh, how's everything going? How's your family? Larry asks this, and he really cares. He really does want to know. How is your family? How are things going? What's going on?
I think some of the most meaningful advice that Larry Lance has given me over the years is to not be afraid to speak up, to value and reward the people around me, to understand that nobody can be successful alone.
Larry has spent the last 40 years of his career, and it's not just been a job. He has impacted so many people's lives.
A very impressive career, and I think something that will leave a lasting legacy in Denver's commercial real estate market.
I really, really hope that at random points throughout the rest of my career and even after, that I will see the phone ring and get really excited because I get the chance to talk to Larry Lance.